see, into this particular video, we'll be discussing about a robot framework into the Python programming language. So here goes the agenda. We'll be discussing about the installation of Python, then the Pycharm IDE, Selenium. Further, we'll be discussing about your robot framework, your features of robot, your Eclipse. And at last but not the least, we'll be discussing about the installation of the robot framework with Selenium package. So let's get started up here very quickly. So let's check on what's our first topic for today. So it's about the installation of Python. So use the link for your installation of Python onto your local machines. It's the official website of Python, which is being https://www.python.org/downloads. This is the link. I'll be taking you towards the Chrome, and there I'll be explaining you about the practical implementation of the installation of Python onto your device. So let me put on the escape option and here onto the new window. Right, now here I'm going to type in Python download. Right, so yeah, here it is about our Python where we are having it for the downloadation options. Right, the current new version is Python 3.10.5. So I'm going to click up over this particular button. So right now it has been downloaded for my device in the exe format. I'm going to click up over this particular button, going to click over the open option, and it will open up this Python for me here. I need to do a check over this box so that it will help me to add in the Python 3.10 to the path, so that afterwards the extra works which we need to do that has been reduced by the checking of this box. And then you have to go and click over install now. So here what it will be done, your Python will be installed, right? So for now I'll be minimizing this and the installation will be done at its end. Right, I'm going to get over back to my PPT here. So currently we just installed in the Python onto our device. Right, next I'm going to take you towards the installation of your Pycharm IDE. So the link for the installation of our Pycharm IDE is we'll be using of the jetbrains.com, because Pycharm is a product of the JetBrains. So we have the link of https://www.jetbrains.com/pycharm/download. So this is the link which will be following up. So I'm gonna again make it to the smaller size and here a new tab, and now here I'll be installing and writing at the things for the installation of my Pycharm. So you can simply write down Pycharm download for your respective windows, or either if you're having out Mac or OS, Mac or Linux, so it supports that as well. I will show you where. So very first link, which is download Pycharm Python IDE for professionals. Now so two options are there, professional and community. Professional one is only a 30 days free trial. After that you have to pay in and then you'll be able to use a professional version. For the community it's completely free of cost. So for now I'll be using up this community one and we'll be downloading this over here. For downloading we have here the Mac OS option. Here as well we have the Linux option. So I'll be going on to the Windows over here, clicking up over my download option and clicking over. So what will be done? Exe file will again start downloading up onto my local machine. You see, this is particularly a larger of size rather than our Python. Python was of somewhat 30 or 35, say 60 MBs, but this is of 379 MB, and that's really quite a large heavy one. So it will take some time for the installation. Up till now, let's check out that is a Python installed. Okay, so it's still on the way to get installed. Now see, I was having in Windows, so I had installed it for the Windows. You can use it up according to your Mac or Linux, whatever. So let me tell you that why are we Pycharm, because you should even know the reason with the using of this particular IDE as well, right? So first of all, it is a very free and open source one. Secondly, like it is very easy to use. You can just configure up your respective interpreters according to your choice, and you can just start using up the Pycharm, writing up your codes, writing up your test, and in the same case regarding all of these, right? Even the installation of your libraries is a very simple task. Just you have a terminal attached with Python, and there itself you just try to install in your libraries as well. So you do not need to go with the command prompt or the PowerShell separately for the installation of your I would say modules or your libraries, right? So that is the reason we are using up the Pycharm here for the testing stuffs of R. Now, one more thing with that, even if you have Visual Studio Code, VS Code onto your devices, so then in that case, there is no such need to install the Pycharm. See, the reason is VS Code and Pycharm, these both are almost same to each other. Quite a little differences between those, but those are almost same to each other. So if you have Pycharm or if you have VS Code, that doesn't matter out too much. Okay, but if you have nothing onto your local machines installed, so I recommend that install in the Pycharm, because into the further videos as well, I'll be using of the Pycharm repetitively for the testing things and the things like that, right? So that is one of my recommendations to you regarding the installation of the Pycharm onto your devices, right? So let's now check in about Python. Python has been installed onto our devices. The setup is completely successful. That's great. I'll be closing out this over here, right? So Python is completely set it up over my device, right, onto my local machine. Now if you go over the start menu and check on regarding your like, is the Python installed or something like has been done, I would just search in Python. See, it's done. It's 3.10 of 64-bit. I'm gonna click over open here. You have the 32-bit as well. You can just download it accordingly about your laptop or local machine, whatever is the configuration of that. You can just simply choose it, because I had downloaded the 64-bit one, because that was one which I wanted to prefer up over here. Right, how my Python looks like. Now here you can start writing up your codes and do up your respective stuffs whatsoever are required. Okay, so for now I will close up this Python over here, and until that time this as well being downloaded up here for me. It's somewhat 10 or 20 MBs which is left out over here for the installation of my Pycharm. Okay, let me check in that what's the scenario. Right, so yeah, it's just a very it's already 347 MB. It's very little which is left out here for the installation of Pycharm. So now this actually Pycharm has been it's a sort of at a stage of getting already installed. So now when these things have been installed, so what I would not do is that I will take you back to my PPT, right? And there I will be explaining you about my further things, because further we need to have the installation of Selenium onto our devices, right? So I'll be explaining about that, and we'll be practically manually doing all of these things once my Pycharm gets installed and things are being done up over here, right? So see, the exe file already been downloaded up over here. Now it's the Pycharm one, and I'll be installing that onto my device. So here the open option. Now it will just take some time. It's verifying up the installer. Okay, so perfect. Here we are about having up the Pycharm community edition setup. I'm going to click up over the next. Here you can set in your respective location whatsoever is required. I'm going to take the same itself. Then I'm going to go over the next option. You have to check all of the boxes here whatsoever are present up, so as all the things goes in correctly. Just give me a second like this, right? Okay, go over the next. You can choose a menu folder for you. For me, let it be JetBrains itself, and I'm going to click over the install. So it will install up all of these things for me in a very short Why? Okay, so right away I had just minimized up this particular one. So till the time it is getting installed, I'll be taking you back towards the PPT and they will be discussing up the further things. Now, the next thing which I have in here for my installation, we'll be learning about the installation of the Selenium, right? That how you can install Selenium onto your devices. So for that, here we are having up some commands which have to be followed up. The installation command, the uninstallation command, and the show command. See, so for the installation command, it is pip install Selenium, which I hope you might already be familiar of these things, because if you're watching up this particular tutorial, so you already know about the Selenium and the things. So I'm not going to take up over those things here. I would just simply help you with the installation of those things, right? The pip install Selenium, that's the first command. For the uninstallation, just you have to simply write pip install Selenium. And show command means that what is the current version of the Selenium which you are having up into your devices. So it helps you to show up the current version. So just you have to write in pip show Selenium. It will help you to show in the current version regarding your Selenium and when was it installed and every details like that. Okay, so this is how your Selenium installation will work out. Now I'll be again minimizing this out and taking you back towards my these pages. I'll let me check in for my Pycharm. It's already installed and I'm gonna click over this. I mean, I'll be rebooting it later manually and click over the finish button. So see, Pycharm has already been installed on my device. I would go over this option. I'll be searching for my Pycharm Community Edition, this one, and click over open. So what it is going to do up for me, it will open up Pycharm for me. So I will do not import the settings. I will click over OK. Okay? So this will start installing up the Pycharm. Sorry, not the installation. It is already done. It will start opening up for me because see, the reason is that you still need to do in some stuffs for I would say setting up your Pycharm. So for now, I'll be closing up these tabs which are not required. I'll be going to my Pycharm, making it larger. Now I'll be clicking up over the new project. So here you can put in your project name according to your choice. So let's say for me, I'm going to put up my project name as Lambda test, like that. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to click over this particular button which is previously configured interpreter. Okay, click over that. Now you have to go over these three buttons, then go to synthesis and see onto my system I have the Python 3.10 already there. So that's being done and I'm going to click up over the OK button. So what it is going to do in for me, it will start creating up a project for me. I would just click over the create option. So the deck is not empty. The users Pycharm, do you want to create project from no open? I'm gonna create from existing sources. Okay, so what it will do, it will for me, and that is my Pycharm. Okay, so I would just make it a little bit bigger and I'm gonna close this over from here. Fine, so this is how your Pycharm actually looks like, and here you're having up the main file, main.py. Okay, yeah, this is your main.py file. Fine, so the Pycharm is all set out for us. Now what is the thing that comes up over here? The things that comes up over here for us now is the installation of the Selenium. So see, if you have Pycharm, so you can install up the Selenium here itself. And if you do not have Pycharm, so what you could do is that you can open up the command prompt and into that as well you can install according to your choice. Fine. So what I will be doing up is that I will let you know about the command which you have to use it, and that command you can use it according to your choice, according to your need, wherever it is needed out there you can write that. Okay. So I can show you over the command prompt. So give me a second. So the command prompt has been opened up for me. So you can just simply write down this. Get me a second. Right, you can simply write like pip install Selenium and hit out enter. So what it will do, it will install up the Selenium for you onto your devices. So collecting up the Selenium, collecting, downloading, it will take up a meanwhile for the respective things, and still it is collecting up the things and getting the things installed. So it might take up a while, right? Because see, many of the things by Selenium 4.3 and many things are being installed up over here, right? So installing collected packages and everything is being done up over here. So see, why I showed you this over the command prompt, because the reason is that now further, if you even want, you can write up the same command over the Pycharm terminal, over your Visual Studio Code terminal, or directly install it over the command prompt. Not a worry, okay? Anytime and wherever you just are requiring of all of these things, it will be working everywhere. So it's not a matter of any worries or anything like that. Right, so it is still downloading up this for us over here. So see, it's getting downloaded, the things are being downloaded, collecting. So as I told you, it will take in a while for all of the things to get in worked out, right? So see, it's already done. Fine. So it is at last it showed me that successfully installed, right? So that successfully it is installed this onto our devices. Fine. So this is how you will install in the Selenium. If you want to uninstall, simply write pip uninstall Selenium. It will uninstall that for you. Now if I write in pip show Selenium, if I increase up the font a little bit so that you can even able to see the pip show Selenium like that, okay, and hit out enter. So it will let me know all the details about the Selenium, like what's the name, what's the version, the summary regarding that, the author and location where it has been installed, everything I'll be getting to see up over here. Okay, so right, I'll be going back to my PPT now, because we are already done regarding the installation of your Selenium over here, that what's the procedure for the installation and the showing and the uninstallation. Next topic which I have is your robot framework. So now we'll be discussing up in detail that what is robot framework, what do the things we have in here, and how do those things actually work out in the robot framework. So first of all, I'll be discussing in with you a little bit of things regarding robot framework. So it is one of the generic open source automation frameworks. Automation means to automate any of the stuff. Let's say if you ever listened about the automation of any social media like Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, right? So it is one of the automation frameworks that we use it. It is one of the open source automation frameworks. It is a key-driven testing framework which uses up your tabular test data syntax. So here the type of the syntax which we use in is your tabular test data syntax. Even we use it for the test automation and the robotic process automation. Test automation, you already know, where we try to automate out our test regarding whatsoever the tests we want to perform and everything like that. And robotic process automation is also somewhat similar to that particular thing only. So it's very simple about your robot framework. It is generic open source automation framework. It is a sort of a key-driven testing framework which uses your tabular test data syntax, and even you use it for the test automation and your robotic process automation. Right, this is a very short introduction regarding the robot framework. As soon as we proceed into the further tutorials regarding the functions and everything, there I'll be coming up in more details with the things. Now, what are the features of robot framework that is necessary for us to understand out actually? So, features, if I'm talking about a robot framework, so it is open and extensible, means that you can just take the extension of that and put it up over or any of the respective codes or anything like that. It can actually be integrated and if it actually with any of the virtual tools or any other tools, you can integrate it, means combine it with, and create up some powerful and some flexible automation solutions. It means that it can be connected or merged or integrated with virtually with any other tools, and with the help of the combination of both, you can create some powerful and flexible automation solutions. It is free to use without any licensing cost. You can, here in the robot we have up a very easy syntax, even the utilizing human readable keywords. It means that the keywords which are present up over here, those are even very human readable, very common ones. So there is no such problem in understanding and reading up all of those. And it has many libraries which is implemented with Python, Java, and many other programming languages. So like it supports the languages like your Python, your Java, your much more other programming languages. So these are some of the features regarding your robot framework which you should know actually, and you should even remember those ones. Again, I'm going to once repeat, it's open and extensible. It can be integrated with other tools for creating powerful and flexible automation solutions. Free to use without licensing cost, easy syntax, and capabilities extended by the libraries which are implemented by Python, Java, or other programming languages as well. Moving towards the next, I'll be letting you know about the installation of your robot framework. So that can be installed with some commands again. So you install a robot framework with the command which is pip install robot framework. Uninstallation can be done in with pip uninstall robot framework, and showing up of the robot framework can be done in pip show robot framework. Now I'll be again taking you towards the command prompt, and there I will demonstrate up the installation and the uninstallation and the show commands. So let's go back to my command prompt over here, and I'll be just clearing that once. Okay, hold on. Let me do it like that. Right here. Fine. Okay. So it's the command is pip install robot framework like that, and hit out enter. So what it will do, it will download that, install that, collect up the packages for you, and in the meanwhile it will install this robot framework onto your device. Right, so the command is very simple, just pip install robot framework and all the things will be done. See, I can just show you here once again. This is the command. Okay, so let that just be installed. It will keep on taking up some time for the installation of these stuffs regarding the robot framework. That is the only method how do you install it over your device, right? So once this particular thing has been installed, then I'll show you about that. Again, for the features, the showing up of the features, the command is absolutely same, which is pip show robot framework. So it will show you the version and what's the name of the particular library which you have installed. These types of informations you will get in at your end with the command pip show robot framework, as you had done it for the Selenium. Same thing has to be implemented onto the robot framework. Nothing more than that, right? So I will take you back towards my PPT, and we can proceed in up till the time it will get installed onto the device. Okay. Now we'll be configuring up the Eclipse. So what I will do here is that I will show you how you can download the Eclipse onto your devices. Fine. So for that, I would again take you towards the Google Chrome window here, and I'll be using up here the we can just simply write in Eclipse download for Windows, right? And okay, hold on, enter. So you can just use up this particular one, www.eclipse.org, right? Here you are having that download option. So get Eclipse IDE this and click over this download option from here, right? And I'm going to first of all click over this, and I'm going to click over the download. So what it will do, it will keep on here it has started downloading the exe file for this Eclipse for me over here. So again, it's a 114 MB. So it will take in a while for the installation of the Eclipse over my device. Right, so that's the idea regarding this particular one, regarding the installation of the Eclipse. Right, so up till the time it is getting installed, I will take you back towards here onto my PPT. And next we have how to install Robot Framework Selenium package. Now for that as well, we have the commands over here about the installation command, uninstallation command, and the show commands for the installation of my Robot Framework with the Selenium library. Command goes in pip install Robot Framework dash Selenium library. For the uninstallation, it is pip uninstall Robot Framework dash Selenium library. For the show command, it is pip show Robot Framework dash Selenium library. So these are the respective commands that we have in for installation, uninstallation, and the show for our Robot Framework with the Selenium library. So I'm going to take you up over my command prompt once again, and there I'll be showing you the practical demonstration for this. So it will get installed in some time. I would right now close this over here. And this thing I can even show you over the Pycharm. So let me go over my Pycharm over here. So we can write in the command, that's very simple, the same. Install Robot Framework dash Selenium. Let me just once go over my Google here. Robot Framework dash library. It will install in the Robot Framework for the Selenium library for your devices. See, so it had started the requirement, downloading that. From here the requirement is satisfied, the things, and at last it's completely done. Right, great. So what I'm going to do is that we can once again command prompt. So here goes my command prompt, opening that up, and here we can just check out with the show option. So it's like once again pip show Robot Framework dash Selenium library, and hit out enter. Right, see now why I just wanted to show you this thing over the command prompt. The reason is onto the Pycharm I downloaded the library for me. Right, onto the Pycharm I wrote in the command for the installing Robot Framework Selenium library. And now when I'm checking this over my command prompt, so there as well it is getting updated that it has been installed. And if I show the information for Robot Framework Selenium library, so it is demonstrating me all of the information regarding of that. So name is this, version is this, summary, web testing library for Robot Framework, homepage, author email, license, location, everything you have it. So that I wanted to show you that it's not a matter of worry. If you are installing something over Pycharm or you're installing something over command prompt, it will install in at your device only. Now you can access that library anywhere on VS Code, on Jupyter, on Pycharm, even on command prompt, Python shell, anywhere you can have the access of that particular library or that particular module at your ends. So nobody you install on Pycharm, you install on command prompt, you install on Visual Studio Code, it doesn't matter out at all. Right. So I hope I am clear with this particular thing to you regarding the installation of the Robot Framework Selenium package. So I hope you have found out this video very useful for you in the form of information. Even if you want to know more about testing, you can always visit out the Lambda test videos, Lambda test blogs, and even a website for Lambda test. All the links are already into the description box. I'll see you in the next video.